Too Many Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast. Top of the morning to you guys, man. Hope everybody had a wonderful hump day. What's up, Tony Mays in the building? He go with
What
that
it
big
do,
ass
Mike?
hat.
Mike? What it do? What it do? What it do?
Man, boy, that is hilarious.
I'm gonna have it on tonight.
You good, bro.
I'm gonna have it on tonight. Yes, I am.
Like, I promise everybody gonna get a kick out of it.
As they should. Man, look, it's a beautiful day, man.
Yes, sir.
It is definitely a beautiful day, man. It's pretty outside, man, and it's just a beautiful day. And I have another doozy for you today.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to man, Facebook, when I tell you Facebook is like something else. It's different, bro. Like now, I don't know what's really going on with Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but like it literally won't let me get to the post. And yeah. So
What you trying to get to?
let me try to do it this way. Trying to get to the live.
Oh.
And it's giving me yesterday's live. Oh boy. Yeah, Facebook is on something else right now. See. Because I be coming up with these questions, but I can't necessarily remember every last one of them. Or just, remember the questions verbatim.
It's up there.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Because I just, for some reason, I can't do it. It won't let me do it. Like, I'm slow or something. And I know I'm not slow.
Well, you got 2 million hats.
Yeah. But like, I can't even get to it to share it.
Are you under the fan page?
Yep. And I can't even get to it to share it. Anyway. It's up there. Is it necessary for your mate or spouse to tell you that they love you, or is it an unspoken thing that you should just know or assume? Let me read that again. Let me read that again. Is it necessary? Is it a necessity? For your mate or spouse to tell you that they love you?
Yeah. Your voice changing,
or is it an unspoken thing that you should just know or assume?
Press your way, Reverend.
I got a witness here. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here. For I don't really want to speak for women. I want the women to come on here and speak for themselves. I really do. But I do understand that we're just using this one, these two sources we're broadcasting to, and everybody ain't caught on yet. I understand that. So we don't have the usual people popping in like we, because everybody ain't caught on to they need to go to that page, and that's why I'm looking to try to share it so people
Yeah,
can
I did
get it.
share this morning and invited some folks as well.
Yeah, and so, but for again, for some reason, it just won't let me get to it. It keeps bringing up yesterday's live, and I don't really understand like why it's not updating to the latest live so I could share it. Yeah, so anyway, I think okay, let me try to do it this way. I think this is it. Okay, so I was able to share it to my page. So, huh? We are live. It's on there. Go to the 2 Man and Hats page.
2 Minute Heads podcast. I can hear you.
But it's not showing. See, Monkey just said the same thing. It's not showing on the live like it's live. It's showing live, but it's only showing yesterday's.
No, it's live. I'm looking at it right now.
I know it's live, but I'm saying when I go to the page, it's not even showing it on there. That
It's
you can
live.
access. It's showing yesterday's.
Let's see.
And Monkey just came in and said the same thing. And I know I wasn't crazy. I'm going to the page and it says live. Click on the actual live up there where it says live.
Yeah, when you click the
So you got to click in it, but
profile picture,
I haven't had to do that before. I
I
haven't
don't know.
had to. Yeah, I haven't had to do that before. So we're gonna have
That's
to
what I
give.
normally do.
Look, we're gonna have to give some instructions. All right. Is it necessary or is it a necessity for your mate or spouse to tell you that they love you? Or is it just an unspoken thing that you should just know or assume? This tough. I mean, I don't know how we can make something so simple be so tough. It's tough because I believe that men we just cut different.
Hmm.
And for us, our big thing is respect. As long as
Right.
you showing us respect, most men may not necessarily care if you just actually tell them you love them or not.
Hmm.
You know, it might be an unspoken thing for them, which means that if it's an unspoken thing for them, are they saying it to their mate or spouse? And that's why I said it's tough. Because for me, I understand that that Monica likes to be told that she's loved. It's not a just an unspoken thing, in my household. It ain't one of them things that you should just automatically just assume, yeah, okay, or she should assume. She wants to be told. And she says it a lot to me.
Hmm.
So that's how I know too. When a woman says it a lot to you, they want you to say it a lot to them.
Right.
But I think for most men, I'm gonna say that, and not all men, but for a lot of us, we don't necessarily get it, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. Like we don't get that we should be just coming in the house, hey babe, I love you, babe. You know, a lot of men do it, but a lot of them don't.
Hmm.
And that could be one of them gap situations, Lavelle,
Hmm.
where you're not saying it, and it's not necessarily one of those unspoken things that your mate is realizing that it's an unspoken thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of going unchecked.
Mm.
And if it's going unchecked, and then Johnny Boy started to come around, you know, not Johnny Boy, what they say, Jody. Jody got your girl and gone.
Yeah.
If Jody pop up and come around, that gap may be get infiltrated.
Mm-hmm.
And if that gap gets infiltrated, it could be problems. Monk said, I take that back and add for me, it is necessary. It's not just necessary. Good morning, Paulette. Good morning, Joseph. I think it's necessary for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, because she in reason she said that, she said you definitely should verbally, she said you definitely should verbally show it, say it, show it, and mean it. And then she said she take it back. And for me, it is. But I think for a lot of people, it is. It's not just for you, because even though I know we get the rap, like I just said, we get the rap that we're kind of, you know, a lot of times stuff like that is unspoken for us, but we just assume we love you because we do stuff, we provide, we protect, and
Right.
that's not necessarily the case. So if you're not reaffirming it by saying, then it could get lost in the shuffle.
Well, it depends. To me, it just depends on the individual who you're connected with. And sometimes, me and Don do it all the time. I do it to the children, and Lavelle is very, very well with it. I mean, every time I leave, I say, Lavelle, I'm finna get ready to go. He said, Daddy, be careful. I love you. But sometimes, depending on what we got going in the home, or what's going on, if they out and I'm getting ready to leave, it don't always just happen like that. But it just depends on the individual. I just, uh, and then too, like Monica said, do it and then mean it. Some things are traditional, and then some things are habitual. So there's a difference.
Right.
So
But I think even in your case, like you might not, it might be some time where you don't say it, but you say it enough to where
yeah.
you're saying, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying for some people, it's never said. It's just an unspoken thing that you automatically assume that, yeah, because I
Oh yeah.
provide, but here, or if I would you think I'd be, that I'll still be here if I ain't love you?
Hmm.
That kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, AI overview. Yes, expressing your love to your mate or spouse is generally a positive and healthy practice in relationship. It's a way to reinforce your commitment and affection and can help strengthen the bond between partners. Here's
Mm-hmm.
why it's beneficial. It reinforces the commitment. Saying I love you demonstrates your feelings and solidifies your commitment to the relationship. So if you're not saying it and it's an unspoken thing, does that mean you're not committed?
Hmm.
I don't think it necessarily means that you're not committed, but I think that, again, especially with men, we're so lost in the fact that, well, we're doing our job. I'm providing, I'm protecting, I'm making sure everybody's straight. Yeah, so I love you. I'm doing all that.
Hmm.
But for women, they saying, I need you to tell me you love me.
Hmm.
I need you to tell me. I need you to reaffirm, reassure, that and let me know that our relationship is still strong, the bond is still strong. And
Hmm.
we feel like, yeah, it is. I'm here. So I think for a lot of men, it is kind of an unspoken thing. Uh, but and I think that's where we get lost in the shuffle. I think
Yeah.
that's where we kind of lose a little bit of our relationship and ourself is when we don't share I love you. I mean, cause check this out. Now, how can we walk around daily telling strangers and people that we run across with our homeboy, hey, what's up, bro? I love you, bro. But we can't even say it to our spouse or mate.
You got a point.
I mean, think about how many times in the course of a day or a week that you run across folk you know and you shake up like, man, I love you, bro. I love you too. Or I love you, sis. I love you too. That you saying that, but then you don't go home and say it to your mouth, your spouse or your mate. Like, what does that even look like?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how are you reaffirming the commitment if you're not saying if it's an unspoken thing for you?
Right.
It says it strengthens the bond. Expressing your love can deepen the connection between partners and create stronger sense of intimacy. We talked about this. So if you're not saying I love you to your spouse or mate, how like how are you showing like I'm confused with the intimacy part here.
Mm-hmm.
How can you display that affection, that intimacy, give them that intimacy if you're not saying it?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, like Monica said, and it's important to tell your children. Well, we already know that that's an area where a lot of people have failed or are failing.
Absolutely.
They've either failed in that area or are failing because they they've let the hustle and bustle of life and having creature comfort these creature comfort things get in the way of them um really being there for their children. And so
Mm-hmm.
these children out here in these streets trying to get it how they live,
Yeah.
however that be.
Mm-hmm.
The person that unalived the gentleman at the Fraser supermarket coming out of the Fraser grocery store is 17 years old.
Yeah.
17 years old. That finna do life. Then it was another two young rappers um that was in a convenience store shooting. That one is caught and one on the run. Young boy,
Mm-hmm.
young guys. Why is it like what's really going on? Ain't nobody telling you I love you. They hearing the love from their homeboy in the street. I love you, my guy.
It's like it's a I don't know. It's such a taboo situation. I remember her probably about earlier part of last year. Something went on or something was on Facebook, and I said, because my DJ name is One Love, I just said I'm gonna just start telling folks, when I leave their presence, I love you, and you'll be
Right.
amazed, bro, how people feel like it's out of place. I did it
Mm-hmm.
last night. I was getting ready to leave. The young lady that was bartender, I said, "I'll see you next week." Da, 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 da. And I said, "Love you." And she went strange, like what? What I'm saying? So especially when you say it to the opposite sex, what I'm saying, it it seems to come off if it's something else there. And it's not. I mean, it should be a thing to where it's the world what the world needs now is love and what's all saying and love and more love. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But you just like people don't. It's like it's a thing to where if I say this, then something is happening or something is wrong, and that ain't got to be the case.
Or and I think it's all in how you say it too.
Mhm.
You can tell when you're walking away from somebody that you don't have a physical attraction to, it's like that, where you say, man, I love you, sis, gone, versus I love you. Where she's
Right.
saying, "Wait a minute, why is he saying?"
Mhm.
So, but what was demonstrated in that moment, if you really paid attention to it, when you said that she looked at you funny, she ain't been told it.
Mhm.
She ain't been getting told it.
Right. Yeah.
If she's not getting told it, I mean, how do you expect her to respond
Mhm. Good
if
point.
she ain't been getting told it? What? How do we want people to respond to us when appreciate it, Joseph? How do we expect for people to respond when we're not given? It's really difficult for me to really like digest a lot of what's going on with
Right.
people. And if we're not saying to our mates and spouse, we love you, but we telling people that we deal with daily out in the street we love them, that's a disconnect.
Yeah, it is.
You know, uh, saying I love you to your mate or spouse actually nurtures the relationship.
Mhm.
Love declarations can be a positive affirmation, helping to nurture and maintain a healthy relationship. And it also promotes emotional well-being. Feeling loved and appreciated can boost a partner's emotional well-being and overall happiness. So if and I'm glad like we're having this conversation and this topic now because I really, man, I really feel like this is where we are failing, not just totally this by itself, but this is where we have failed the children, bro.
Mhm.
I feel like this is where we really have failed them to the point where, you know, these kids, man, out here struggling.
Yeah.
These kids out here struggling, bro, and we ain't offering them no solution. We're not offering them no love. We're not out here, and if you don't give it to them, they don't get it from the streets. And you ain't gonna like how they
Mhm.
get it from the streets. Monica says, I tell my friends, Tam is all the way in Vietnam, and it is important for me to make sure she knows she's loved. I tell my gangster brother after every phone call, gangsters need love too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I think regardless of whether it's your mate or spouse, or it's your children, or it's your friend, or whomever it may be, I think it's important to nurture that relationship by saying I love you.
Mhm.
And like I said, it's gonna promote emotional well-being. If you know you love, if people are telling you they love you and you love, bro,
Mhm.
that helps promote emotional well-being. You know,
Right.
when and whereas a lot of men may even think, quote unquote, Lavelle, that it's mushy to be saying all that love you stuff.
Right.
It's
I was
mushy.
just thinking you pulled my thought out of my head.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
that's mushy. Or that's cap. Like it's this guy that I follow on social media. I'm trying to think of their name, but it's him and his wife. And she always playing these practical jokes kind of on him, you know. And one day she said, he was at work, and every time he got ready to get off the phone, he said, I love you. And she was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. And she'll hang up the phone. And she said, I won't play this joke on him. He gonna tell me he love me because he always tell me he love me, and I ain't gonna say it back. I'm just gonna, hang up the phone. So
Mhm.
he called, they was talking, and he said, yeah, can you go give me a smooth? She said, yeah, I bring it up there by the time you about to go on your lunch and all that. I bring it up there and blah. And then he was like, yeah, and he was just kind of shooting the breeze. Then he's like, all right, then I love you. And she said, okay, then bye. And she hung up the phone. Then she said, I'm gonna see if he gonna call me back. And that phone run right back. And she said, hello. He said, what the wrong with you? I just told you I love you. Back out the phone. She said, I'm going to get your smoothie. He said, what the that got to do with you telling me you love me back? And she was like, nothing. And then he was like, all right. She said, I'm just trying to get your smoothie. He's like, okay, then. I love you. And then she hung up the phone again. They called back. He said, look, I don't know what the you on. That man is so funny. He said, I don't know what you on. I don't know if you sitting there next to your boyfriend or what.
Did you see the other challenge that was going on where they was the gentleman was their wives or spouse was recording with their phones and they'd call them and say, "Hey man, I just call you man to tell you good night."
Oh yeah, when he call his partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, you call now.
Everybody was like, man, dude was like, man, he's like one dude called his father, that man hung up in his face.
Yeah, he said, man, you on some gay stuff, ain't it? You gotta get off my phone.
And I brought that up just you know what I'm saying what you said earlier, how men think that's a macho type thing. Are you weak, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, you gay or whatever. I believe, man, especially with men, man, we got so many all these hard shells on. We supposed to be quote unquote hard. Man, come on, man. Come up off that.
What I think with him, it was kind of how he was saying it. He was trying to do it like you clearly him and his partner say, hey, I love you, bro. Love you too, bro. They say it because you can hear it in their voice. But he was like, yeah, man, I was getting ready to go to bed. I was just thinking about you before I went to bed and just wanted to tell you good night. And they was like, what? One dude said, you okay, bro? He's like, you ain't died or nothing. Are you okay? Man, that was hilarious. Paulette says, I don't understand the people who say I love you, then get them a black eye. I don't understand that kind of love. Yeah, that ain't love. that's
overprotective.
They ain't overprotected. That's over something. That's Marcus said, question. In a new relationship, how soon should you say I love you? Y'all thought. I think it depends on the relationship, the level of the relationship, and you'll know like when you get to that level where the intimacy changes, how you guys interact with each other changes. You know what I'm saying? I think you kind of just know when it's that time. I mean, you ain't finna be saying I love you on the first date. Not I love you like that. It might be that I love you, sis brother type thing. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna be I love you like that on the first few dates. But I think that once you kind of level up a little bit and you guys are kind of starting to know each other, understand each other, fill out each other, I don't think it take no 6 months or years and all that stuff because it depends on because I've seen some people that say love at first sight and I knew you was the one and they get married. I've seen some people get married after 30 days, 60 days and still married. Because they felt like that person was the one. The L word can be scary, especially for men. I definitely think it is. I think for a lot of men, because we just talked about it. Like we're not really shown that I love you or taught that I love you as young men. It's be strong, be tough, be this. You got to be a man. You got to stand. So that's why I said for most men, I love you is like the mushy, type of thing. Like, oh, that's mushy, but again, I think it's all in how you feel about it. If you feel that it's mushy, then for you it might be mushy.
Yeah.
But for me,
I think too what happens as well, as far as if you're in a dating world, when it happens to that, that I love you type of thing, you really want to try to understand that person's motive.
What?
We've all, kind of like, when you did came up with the segment of thin line between love and hate, when Martin told old girl she loved him,
Right.
He loved her, but he really didn't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you can use that word loosely to the point to where you saying this, but you don't know what's behind what you're saying. And if you say this, hey, it's for blood now. Let's see what you really mean.
And I think like if we say this to women as men, if we say this to women and we don't mean it, I think that poses more of a larger problem than good morning, Mayor. Where you been, Mayor Matt? We've been missing you. Anyway, um, it's like one of those things where you just out to get what you can get. And
Yep.
so because you out to get what you can get, you say, I love you just to get it. That's
Hmm.
why, I would caution women like really early on in relationships. Um, if you tell the man like I'm not really doing nothing till I know I really care, I'm in love with a person. Oh, if he really trying to get it, he finna show his tail.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I would caution women to kind of expressing that kind of stuff like, well, I don't really do nothing till I know I'm in love with a guy, because at that point he finna turn the heat up. If that's what he's all about.
Hmm.
He finna try to go all out his way to show you that he loves you just so he can get it. Then once he get it, he didn't got the trophy, he didn't got the prize. Oh,
Right.
it's a wrap,
Hmm.
you know. Gotcha. So yeah, it can be very difficult for men to really express love or show love or say I love you. But I'm telling you, man, you got to, whatever shell you've been in, whatever you've been taught as a young man or a boy, to now about expressing yourself, man, y'all better flip the script, y'all better change the game. Because if not, you're gonna be what they say, up the creek without a paddle.
Right.
You gonna be up the creek without a paddle if you allow that to kind of be the foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So we have to understand, man, that you know it's not. I don't necessarily think that's who most men are. Well, not all men, but I do think a big, huge portion or a population of men kind of feel like I just talked about. Like, oh, that's mushy. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that. And I think a huge part um, of men feel like that.
Yeah. I think too, big bro. I think love is a frequency as well. And if you
You
understand,
think
I
it's
think
a
we
what?
talked about it's a frequency. It's like it's
Oh,
an
freak.
energy,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Well,
I believe,
we
huh?
talk about that now a lot, Lavelle. We talk about energy and the connection and all that stuff. So I
Mhm.
definitely think that like you own to something with that. But
Right. But the reason I bring that up is because like when you look at the music that we're currently listening to now, like there's nothing promoting nothing remotely even close to love. I don't care what. Probably the only genre that's probably like really promoting love is probably country music.
I'm glad you brought the
But
music
like
thing.
back in the day, late '60s, early '70s, mid '70s, you turned the radio on, everything was adorning the woman, and
Yeah,
say, I destroyed your love for me, and
yeah.
saying, I love you this, I love you this, I adore you, and this, and the third, what I'm saying? So everything, the frequencies was there, the energy was there. And when it's not in the earth, it's not being promoted, it can easily, what I'm saying, and hey, we're having the conversation. It can be put to the back burner to the point to where it's not on the forefront.
I think the closest thing to what I consider probably a love song in the younger folks generation is that SZA, what a guy. I testify for you. I did, all that stuff for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the closest thing. It's their version of a love song because they tell you all the stuff I'm gonna do for you, even though it's criminal activity. But it's I'm gonna do this because I love you.
Right.
So, and the love stories back when you was talking about them 60s, 70s, 80s, even the early 90s, man, it was different type of love stories, man. Like you could,
Yeah.
it was the kind of love story that you was on the phone with your girlfriend and y'all on
Yeah,
the phone playing it in the background. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Or you trying to sing it to her, y'all go to sleep. You can
You
hang up.
put it on
No,
your
you
you
can
put
hang
it
up.
on your voicemail back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up?
your whole voicemail,
Uh,
it be the little sexy song in the background. You'd be like,
yeah. What's up?
oh,
This Lavelle, leave a message for me.
yeah, you reached Tony. You know what I'm saying? Love.
Yeah. It's like nothing promotes that, man. It's like you
Yeah.
know, yeah.
You leave some stuff like that on your voicemail now, nigga will be like, he sassy, he this, he that.
For real, bro.
Monka said, Bill, I agree. I love music, and music has definitely changed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell you somebody who I feel like right now, his energy, bro, is just different. It's infectious. But the new American Idol,
Oh yeah.
Jamal's his attitude, his everything about the dude is just infectious, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't trying to hear the outside noise. He ain't trying to hear what people got to say about the babies or him not having relationships with his mama or how he feel about his mama, dad. And he ain't trying to hear none of that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like he talked about this and he said because and his one of his very first actually when he won Idol, the song he sung was Heal, the song he wrote. And he wrote that song because he's healing. He's like, I'm still in my healing process. I'm going through my healing process with all this stuff that I've been through. He said, how difficult is it for, and this is another one of them love stories, man, love thing. He said, think about this. And he said it used to make him like just really think like how, like he's like his daddy came and got him and his, I think he was just at that time, maybe his sister, whoever came and got them. And his
Mm-hmm.
mother just gave custody to the dad. Just gave parental right, gave up custody. And he was like, how you have to feel as a mother to give up custody to your kids? And he's like, and I ain't talking about like you give custody, you come visit. He's like, no visits, no nothing. And he was like, all this stuff running through your head. What did I do? Do they not love me enough? What is it about? All of this stuff that he, all these questions going through his mind, right? And then he said, all of a sudden, she ended up having more kids, but didn't put them out or didn't give them up to their daddy. He was like, what did we do? So it made him question even more, like, what did we do so bad that, or what was it that made her give us up for but then have more kids and not, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he wrestled with that for a long time, and he said, but I never disrespected my mother in any kind of way. She call her right now, she'll tell you. He said, my daddy, I never disrespect. He said, my stepmother was the best mama, one of the best mamas ever. Talked
Yep.
about his stepmama like you did. He talked about that, but I'm just saying his energy, bro, and this man got a testimony, a story, man. He could easily be out here just flipping. Your mama give you up, your daddy there for you, but not really there for you, was mean, but you just had a loving grandparents and a loving stepmama that helped kind of get you through.
Right.
And he did a song down in Meridian where he from. He did a concert, and he brought his mama on stage. He had his mama like hugged up, and he just started singing this song. And that woman couldn't take it, bro. That woman broke down, man. She had to leave the stage.
Yeah, he was singing at Jason Nelson forever was a long
Yeah.
time.
You see what I'm saying? And he was, it just the words. If you
Yeah.
listen to the words, she couldn't take it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that was their inner guilt or how she felt, or the fact that this boy still love you regardless.
Yep.
You know, that's love, man. That's the kind of love, man. It's almost like that agape love, bro. Where God just love you so unconditionally, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
ain't no conditions on it,
Right.
you know. And when a person love you, it's different when a person love you conditionally versus unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
See, conditionally, I love you because what you can provide for me, what you can do for me, what you can, and that's what a lot of relationships are based on now. There is conditional love. Because if you stop providing for me, I no longer love you.
Mm-hmm.
If you stop giving me the $100,000 a year, I no longer love you. But
Right.
when you have that agape love, that unconditional love, you're gonna love. I'm a love Lavelle in spite of, not because of.
Mm.
Come on, man.
You helping me this morning, Doc.
I'm gonna love my wife, man, because of. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in spite of, not because of. I ain't gonna love because she can do something for me. Because I'm gonna love in spite. I'm gonna love my wife because I'm supposed to love my wife. I love my wife unconditionally. I don't care. There are no terms on it. There are no, nothing that binds me to the love because of what she can do. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if we start to share that kind of love with people, period, and we'll do, especially our kids. We'll
Yeah.
leave kids on back in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love, like I said again, I love Jamal so much because he even though his parents maybe didn't show him that kind of love, he still had people around him that showed him what love was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And
I
he
think I
didn't
think
harden his heart to the fact that mama ain't there, dad ain't there. I'm just gonna,
right.
and
I
you
think
can
too,
hear it in
bro.
his music. He said
Right.
it. He said, "Don't invite me. Don't invite me to do a show if I can't put no Jesus in it.
Right.
I don't care if you invite me to do some blues, R&B, whatever. Don't invite me." He said it. Don't invite me if I can't bring, cause I'm gonna bring some Jesus with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
just love
think
him,
too.
bro.
I think too. You said this a couple of weeks back. You may not say it, in this way, but I believe too. While we're in the situation we're in, we're overly consumed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody chasing the bag. You know what I'm saying? And love has got lost in the shuffle.
I mean, we said it. It's everything else come first.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Monica been watching the Sweetie Pies show. With
Mm-hmm.
her and her son falling out, and her son. Everything he talked about, man, is business. Like if it ain't, and he said, if it ain't about getting that money, man, I don't really want to talk about it, hear about it. See, that's when you start to do that, man. Love is way on the back burner, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Joseph says it's different in my relationship. LOL. My wife had to grow to the point of saying I love you more. Her upbringing is love is a word, and an individual action shows love. So saying I love you was irrelevant in her eyes. Damn. So she had it hard saying it. Now myself, I was raised by two women that told you I love you all the time, and they were big on us expressing the same to each other as siblings. So I came into my relationship saying I love you more than she would. That's unusual. But
Yeah.
it's usually the man like that, where the woman, and the man is like not being really told I love you, or shown I love you, or showing how to love, and so he don't know how to show that love to that woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, that's deep. That's deep, man. But the bottom line is, you know, you should be telling your mate, spouse, friends, people, children that you love them, because it is a way to reinforce your commitment and affection, and help strengthen that bond between the partners. And like, okay, so when do we express love, or when should we express love? I don't think there's a set time or time limit, which Monica acts like how soon, if you're in a new relationship, should you say I love you? I don't think it's no right or wrong time to say it. I just think you'll know when you feel it, if that makes sense.
As long as your motive and your agenda is pure.
Yeah,
What, what's behind your hello somebody? Catch that when
e-
you get home.
exactly. I just finna say, as long as you follow your heart, if
Yeah.
you follow your heart,
hmm
if you feel the urge to express your love, you can do it at any time if you following your heart. What we say all the time, that comes from the heart
Reaches
reaches
the
the
heart.
heart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
hmm
why certain people you can feel a certain energy, man. A certain because when if it comes from the heart, bro, you know it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta consider, you gotta consider your partner, like who your partner is. Think about, how your partner would best receive and appreciate whatever that declaration of love is, and how that love means to them. Like for Joseph. Joseph said like his wife wasn't raised there, so he had to figure out how can I say this to her that she understands, that because she understands for me just showing her like if I do stuff. So for her, it was an unspoken thing that we talked about. But for Joseph, it was a spoken love because he was taught that to say that, and he was taught to show it by saying it and reinforce it by his actions.
Right.
Right.
Well, I
So
mean, in her case, and you I've seen it several times where you have people who, their upbringing and what they've been through in life, you know what I'm saying? Just like you mentioned Jamal,
mhm,
those layers that you went through in life as a child and then you grow
yep,
up and whatever the case may be, and then you start trying to be this adult, be
yep,
grown, as we say.
yep.
Those layers, man, sometimes everybody don't pull them back as easy. You know what I'm saying? So especially when
That
experience, if you've been molested or if you've been talked crazy to and all this stuff. And so I'm hearing you saying you love me, but up under me, that's you telling the up under me you love me, but on the surface, I can't take it right now. I ain't pulled it off.
cause you ain't healed.
Yep.
You're not healed. And see, this
Emotional.
this why this is why I say you have to be careful about just jumping into a relationship when
hmm
you ain't fully healed. And sometimes, Lavelle, we don't even know, like we have experienced this trauma or whatever trauma. Because every trauma is not like so wide open and open where you just this happened to me. Some of this trauma, man, is kind of man wrapped up in this ball, this package, and we just kind of bounce and throw the ball in the roll the ball in the closet, you know. And then something triggers us, and then we like, boom, you know. So you got to consider your partner, bro. You got to consider your partner and think about how your partner will best receive or appreciate your love for them. And I
hmm
think that's what Joseph had to do.
Right.
And you gotta make it genuine, bro. Your love has to be genuine. Saying I love you should be a sincere and heartfelt, show of love, man. Like it's expression. It shouldn't be just you just saying it.
hmm
Cause and it don't mean like you said, if you say it and I don't really feel like you mean it, it's like people say it sometimes so I can just get you off my back. Like, yeah, yeah. But you ain't really mean it.
hmm
That's almost like an apology. You say an apology to somebody, but you ain't really mean the apology. It's felt, bro. I felt like you didn't really mean it. So why even
Right.
say it? Why even waste your energy saying it?
hmm
Verbal declarations, man, simply saying I love you can be a powerful and effective way to express your feelings, bro. Non-verbal expressions showing love through actions like gestures of care, support, and affection can also be very meaningful. And then you can do a combination of actions and words. You know, um, Joseph's wife, it sounds like in the beginning was more of an action person, like you had to show her through your action that you love her by how you did and showed her your support and care for her. Whereas his was more verbal, and probably action too, because it sounds like he had both, so you have to, I think that love, we always talk about love being an action word, and so you definitely have to make sure that you're expressing that. Monica says, I didn't always feel loved as a child, so it's important to me to have it shown to me now. People don't know how people are feeling, what they have been through, what they are going through, etc. Show love. You'll be surprised the lives you could change by doing so. Absolutely. Mel said, "Yep, my mom says that all the time. What comes from the heart reaches the heart for sure." And Joseph said, "Facts. We both had to learn. Yeah, you had to learn her and her way of dealing with love and how she expressed love, and she had to deal, with yours as well. So I think, man, like this is one of those. This is one of these topics, bro, that I can literally talk about all week.
Oh yeah.
I can talk about this all week, man, because I feel like, this is a major part of why we dropped the ball in relationships and friendships and all kinds of ships. Like, I feel like this is why, it's a major part of it. Joseph says she had to learn. I need to hear her say that. I had to learn my actions show my love for her, with wording that here and there. Gotcha. Yep. All right, man. Whew. This one. Let me clock this tea, man. Let's clock this tea.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that tea with your girl, Queen Watkins. I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to clock that tea. Have y'all seen the story of the nanny that's sleeping with the child that she watching? Yeah, let's talk about it. So there was a 22-year-old nanny that was watching this child that was 11 years old, y'all. Come to find out, she done got pregnant by this 11-year-old child. Yeah,
What?
they said that they had sexual intercourse at least 15 times, right? So the girl is in jail. She's serving 20 plus years as of right now. And on the video, you can see the little boy holding his baby, which is insane to me. But anywho, the little boy said that the first few times the nanny pushed herself up on him. And I guess it started to feel good to him. He's 11 years old. She probably didn't show him a few things. And they continue to do the do, right? To put the icing on the cake, the nanny lived with them. So the mom was like, damn, we paid her to watch our child. And we also gave her a place to stay for free, right? And you do this, and you end up pregnant by our 11-year-old son. And then the mom was like, I don't see women as being pedophiles. Shit. Y'all better keep your eyes on these people. Be careful who you got watching your children, because that's the issue. That's the issue. A pedophile can be a man or a woman. It's no specific look in the dictionary. When you look up what that word means, it doesn't specifically say it's a man or it's a woman. Gotta be careful, gotta be mindful about what these folks got going on. And it makes you feel so bad because people got to work and they're trying to get someone to watch their child. They thought they can trust this lady while they work, pay bills for their son, hell, as well as the nanny, because the nanny was getting a free ride for real. She was getting paid and was getting a free ride. She horny. You 22 years old. You couldn't find nobody a little bit older than that. You couldn't find nobody that once the baby went to sleep, you got somebody to pull up or something like that. Like it had to be a child. It's just insane to me. All right, y'all. That's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men and Hats Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins. Clock that tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
That's crazy.
Oh, we can't make this stuff up, bro. We cannot make this stuff up. I don't understand it, man. Now, according to Queen, allegedly she's been served to 20 plus years in jail. She's 22 years old. She's gonna be 40 years old, at least 40 by the time she get out. 22 years old, 11 years old, half her age. I'm pretty sure that the dad was in the house, right?
Yeah.
If the dad was there, why didn't she just screw the dad?
Why she need to screw anybody here for that matter? Like,
I'm just saying, if she was just that damn horny, go after the dad.
but like Monica just said, it ain't horny. It's sick.
Yeah, for her, that was sick.
For the child too.
With the child, but see, the child, man, I can't blame the child. I ain't gonna blame.
Well, I ain't saying blame the child, but that's trauma. You're 11 years old, bro.
Yeah, it's trauma, but I ain't gonna blame him because if she
he was manipulated,
you gotta think you a young kid, a boy. It's different for a boy than a girl in a lot of cases, man. Because yeah, she probably pushed up on. He probably was scared at first, and he probably like, I got an older woman, Didn't know no better. Mine ain't mentally fully developed. But for young girls, if there had been a young girl and a 22-year-old male, a lot of times they push themselves up on them young girls. Them young girls be trying to push back, or they'll threaten them and tell them, you better not tell nobody, I'm gonna kill your whole family, something like that, unalive your whole family. And so I just think that's a sick mindset, bro. Like, that's sick. Like, you can't find nobody at your age. All these apps out here where you can go meet somebody. Swipe left, swipe right. What's that app called? They be talking about swipe left, swipe right. What is that app called?
No, you got me, Doc. I won't be on. I just be on
Facebook. Tinder. I think it's Tinder. Okay. Where they be talking about the swipe right, swipe left, Tinder. I mean, all these apps out here, and you gonna tell me you couldn't find nobody your age or close to your age? Monica says statistically, I don't know where she got her statistics from, but statistically, sexual assaults occur more by women than men. Mental illness is real. She must have looked it up. She's talking about statistics.
Yeah, I've had some opportunity. A gentleman that I knew growing up, you know what I'm saying, that the woman turned the man out.
Look at the app guy. This man crazy. He know it's 5 of. He been swiping left and right on all 5 of them.
Get it how you live, my guy.
All right, man. This has been a good one, man. I like this, man. I like we talking about love and how to properly love people and show people love. Man, y'all come out tonight, man, at Ghost River Brewery on Main Street, 827 South Main Street, man. DJ One Love gonna be on the ones and twos with karaoke night. It's gonna be a pod tonight, man, and we're gonna do our presentation tonight as well. And I can't wait to do our little presentation tonight, man. We're ready. Ready to do our presentation, man. So y'all come out tonight, man. Support. Be there by 7. Show the rest the karaoke about 6. Sometimes, I guess maybe a little before 6 or whatever. But he be there setting up at 6, do karaoke. Come out and sing your favorite song, man. Come on out and sing. I'm gonna get Monica to sing something tonight. So if y'all want to catch Monica singing, come on out tonight. She gonna be singing. Yeah. And if you got your 2 Men in hat gear, if you got your hats, your shirts, wear your 2 Men in hat shirts and hats tonight, man. We want to represent well, man. And when we make this presentation. So y'all come on out tonight, man, and share with us. That's all I have.
I need y'all help on something. I need to share my screen. We need some help for y'all to do something because we're trying to get the word out here. So go to our 2 Minute Heads podcast. I got to go up down here and do this. There we go. All right, so go to our 2 Minute Heads podcast page, and down to the right hand side, there's like there's 3 little dots, and it says invite people to the page.
Yeah.
I just invited over 1,000 people to like the page. If you can tell, it's we're getting more views, but we really need y'all to do this. We are a little under 300 some followers. We want to try to get to 500 followers no later than probably Wednesday next week, and that ain't hard to do. It's real simple, and you'll help us a whole lot. Just go simply to the 2 Minute Heads podcast page, hit the little 3 dots on the side, and it's gonna say invite followers, and hit all of them. All your folks do that for us, and we'll really appreciate this. So,
and this page is a lot different from our community group. See, in our community group, y'all can go on there and post as much stuff as possible. On this page, I don't think you can post on this. Only the admins like Lavelle and I can actually post on this page. So
yeah. You're
gonna only see the 2 men that had traffic on this page. So if you're in the community group and you seeing all kinds of stuff, people that uploaded, you're on the wrong page. You're in the community group page and not the fan page.
You got 2 Minute Heads podcast, and then you have 2 Minute Heads community group.
Yeah. So, and one of them is a page and one is a group. That's the difference too. One is a page, and the other one is a group. And the 2 Minute Heads podcast is a page, fan page, and the 2 Minute Heads community group is a group. So it's a difference. One is a page, is a group. So make sure, and then in order to actually view the live now, for some reason, you have to actually see where he has the red circle where our 2 Minute Heads logo is, and it's red around. It says live. You have to actually click on that to get into the live now. So that's another thing.
But like I said, it didn't do that yesterday, so I don't know why they done it.
Yeah, it must be something new because it didn't do it for me either. But I wasn't able to because normally you just go down the page and the live be down there, click on the page. But all it was showing me today, and it did the same for Monica. All it was showing me was yesterday's live until I actually clicked into the logo, and then it took me to the live.
I'm wondering if does it have something to do with who started the live? You had I guess I set everything up. I don't know. We deal with this.
Yeah, I don't know. We still learning this page. Anyway, we're only broadcasting to the page. Now, if you really want to eliminate that kind of issue, get on the 2 Minute Heads. Subscribe to the 2 Minute Heads YouTube page. If you subscribe to the 2 Minute Heads YouTube page, it's easier to get to because when you click on it and you hit subscribe, you see how you click on it, it's gonna take you straight into the live. Yep. So that one is a lot easier for me. And what I know. So we got the 2 Minute Heads YouTube page and the fan page that we are actually broadcast. We're no longer broadcast. Even though we might share it to our personal pages, we're no longer broadcast to those pages.
And I've been going back looking at the views and everything. The views are, we most definitely had a scatter. So the views are getting there. So y'all so much for everything there.
Yeah, but we definitely need you guys' help. So make sure you guys are sharing the live, and like I said, going to the page and actually invite more people to come and join the page. The more people we have, because we hadn't really did that focus because those 300 people or so that joined so quick was just people that's joined, because people that was in the group. And I think we got probably way more people in the group now than the page, but the community group. And we get a lot of people to share. So what I'm gonna start doing too, if you're sharing over there, but you ain't coming to watch the live on our group, well, you might get removed from the group because that's kind of weird. Like, we got you to interact with us, not just share all the stuff you want to share. And you
I beg to differ. Like I was with my uncle this weekend, and he be watching, but he be at work.
So, no. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm talking about the people that's sharing. They're sharing posts on our group page.
Yeah. He
They
wanted
share.
that's exactly what you said. He shared all the time. You Kim Webb in the group, but you'll never know he
Now
watched it.
he watched the page. I see him watching. Yeah,
Right.
I ain't time. But no, it's people that post on there that don't. Yeah, they just come on there just post their little content or whatever they trying to post. So
Right.
So I'm not talking about like you could who the people who are post, they interact with the
Right.
page, and that's what
Yeah.
the page is supposed to be for, to interact. Monica said it didn't do it yesterday, but yeah, that's why I said it didn't do that yesterday, because I was able to go down, swipe down, go down to the page and go to the live, but I don't know, maybe it's something different today. So anywho, but we'll see you guys tonight at 7:00 at the Ghost River Brewery. I don't know why I won't say Old Dominique, but Ghost River Brewery.
That's why I'm there on Wednesdays.
Yeah, Ghost River Brewery tonight on Main Street, 827 Main Street. We'll see you guys tonight at 7:00. So make sure you wear your 2 Men in Hat gear. I'll be there with my noggin on. So we'll see you guys tonight, man. We love y'all, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Lavelle, pray us out.
All right. Well, God, we thank you for this day. Thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for allowing us to talk about who you say you are. It says God is love and love is God. And we want to be able to continue to display that love for our loved ones, for our friends, and you even tell us to love our enemies, Lord God. But we just ask you to continue to nurture our love for one another. We're going to continue to touch our opportunity to make this podcast, because they're one that's connected with us. And we actually do this in His Son Jesus. Amen.
Amen. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead P. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.